Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Sorry I'm late. Running around last minute. Okay. So today is episode 35 of Stamping A to Z. For those of you who don't know what Stamping A to Z is, it is a series that I started to walk you through our catalog so that you know what's in here and how to use everything, showing you different techniques on how to use things. So today, like I said, is episode 35, and we are looking at the watercolor pencils. They can be found on page 126. Hang on, sorry, I'm just going to find me on here. Make sure I'm live. There we go. I can see comments. Okay, perfect. Okay, 126. So there's two different sets that you can get with different colors. There's assortment 1 and 2. One is $22 and one is $17, just because they have varying numbers of colors in them. They are a variety. They're not just color sets. And you can use them for watercoloring. And you can use them with the blender pens as well. Today, I think I'm mostly just doing the watercoloring stuff. So yeah, let's get to it. Oh, something exciting is our mini catalog for the winter is coming out in August. As a demonstrator, you get to get a sneak peek a little early and pre-order some stuff. So I'm not allowed to show you the inside of the catalog, but I can show you the products that I have. And even more exciting is we have a second celebration coming out at the same time. So normally we only have one celebration per year, which is early in the year. And this year we have a second one. So not only will you be able to get your new Christmas products in fall, you will be able to get free stuff with it as well. And there's a really great promotion for joining my team. You'll get to select extra stuff more than what you normally do. So keep your eyes posted for that. That's in August. Unless you join now, then you can pre-order now. I think my phone is crooked, so I'm going to try and keep this so that it's, I have no idea which way straight. So sorry for the crooked craziness. Okay, so these are the watercolor pencils. I believe I have both sets mixed in here, so sorry for not knowing which is which. I think there's both sets in there. Hang on, let me check. Let's see. I will tell you how many colors there are. We've got, so 13 and 10, so there should be 23 pencils if I've got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah. Okay, so both sets are in here. So you have a good variety of colors, neutrals to all the way through. So I'm going to start off with this super cute. So this is one of the ones in the mini catalog. It is a whole suite. It's called Sweet Little Stockings, and it comes with the dies, and of course it had the dog in it, and I just had to have the dog. But today I've created something with it that's not Christmas, because I'm not quite ready for Christmas. I'm just going to show you two. So it comes with those two. It has paper that goes with it. So I'm just using, this is part of the paper, so I've used this. I believe it also has, I'm just trying to find where I put it, this ribbon that goes with it. It's a nice pool party ribbon. And I can't remember. Oh, I think the these matte decorative dots as well go with. So that's the set. I have the dog, the cat, and I'm not sure if this guy's like a gopher or just a really fat cat. I'm not sure what he's got going on here, but anyways, he's cute, so we'll use him. And then I'm going to take, now I'm kind of cheating because normally when you're watercoloring you want to use a StazOn or archival ink, which is this one, but I hate cleaning the StazOn off of my stamps, especially the photopolymer stamps. So I'm using Memento. Now the thing with Memento is it can run because it's meant to be used with alcohol, so with our blends, but it's just so much easier to clean. So I'll take a little bit of the bleeding over having to clean my stamps super well, and I find it doesn't really bleed that much, but that's just a warning to you to know that if you do use the Memento that you might get some bleeding of the black into your colors. So our first technique with the watercolor pencils is just straight up using them as pencils. So just coloring it in as though you were using a pencil crayon. So I should have a sharpener, but anyways, so basically you just come in, color it in. You don't have to fill it in, which is nice. You don't have to have perfect coloring because it'll fill in as you watercolor it and all your lines will disappear. You can use multiple colors together and blend them to get kind of more of a different, so like if I take, say, oh that's Cajun crazy, I'll call it that. There was a, give them a little bit of reddishness to them. I think I'll just put a little here and there, and then you can just kind of go over. And then I gotta find my, so our water painters I have shown before. They come in a pack of 3. They have a wide tip, a medium tip, and a fine tip. I'm just using the fine tip. And it looks like it's colored right now, but really it's running clear. So as long, it's okay if your brush tip is stained, or I'm not sure what I did, but it looks dirty, but it's not. So just have a piece of scrap paper beside you or a paper towel, whatever, just so you can check and make sure that it's clean and running clear. So when you change colors, it doesn't, you know, you're not adding green to your brown all of a sudden. I want to ask you, if you enjoy these videos, please share with your friends. I would love to have more people on here. I love to, oops, I forgot his little paws. It makes it worthwhile doing these videos. The more people that watch them and enjoy them, and just even sharing the love of crafting with more. Let's expand our circle. Okay, so as you can see, that's our little puppy. So if you want to just, you can also do some, so this is basic gray. So if you've got this cat, you can see even just one color, you can have one color, and then you can go in and make some darker areas, or even add some, so like if I want his inside ears to be kind of a darker gray, and then if we do give him like a darker gray here, and maybe so you can really control things with your pencils. You can put as much or as little as you want. If you want to add more after the fact, you just want to make sure that you let it dry, because otherwise you might tear it as you go. I'm using, I forgot to tell you, I am using shimmery white, which is a little bit more forgiving than our basic white paper. You can also use watercolor paper, which is even more forgiving. So if you want to kind of layer things and let it dry and go more and more, then you might want to use the watercolor paper. So you can see it really blends in all your lines and makes it really nice. The other thing I wanted to show you that you can do with these is you can get a really good ombre effect. So if you just, like, say you're doing a background, so you can start lighter. Actually, I think it's easier to start on the dark side and then just kind of bring it out and go lighter and lighter, and then you just go over it with your brush. And you might want to take out the dark stuff as you go, or start on the light side and then go towards the dark, whatever works. But so yeah, so you can get a really nice ombre look going really easily with the pencils. So that's the first one. I won't bore you with all my coloring. So here's the finished project. I've used the Picture This dies, which is these ones. So they have the rectangles and the circles. That's available in the annual catalog, so you can get those now. And then I just cut out the circles again with that Pool Party paper from this suite. And the Sending Lots of Love is from the stamp set. And then this paper, this is super cool. I know it's not the same on camera, it's not the same in a picture, but it's actual cork. Like, it's a really thin piece of paper and it feels like cork, and it has the texture of cork. So it's pretty cool. So that's the first technique with our watercolor pencils. So second, this one is super fun. I didn't even realize how cool this set was until I opened it and started playing with it. So this one's called Peaceful Cabin. I love it. We come to the lake and I love the mountains, and so this one I just had to have. It comes with dies. I haven't cut them out yet and put them on the front, which I like to do, but these are so super cool. So I didn't know until I pulled it out, but it cuts out the shape of the cabin, but you can also cut out detail out of the cabin. It cuts out the trees, but it also can cut out pieces of the trees, and then you have extra trees. And then this one, this little outline, is for this little fox. So you can like layer this. It has the fence posts, it's got the snowflakes. It is a super cool suite. Again, this is a full suite, so it's got beautiful paper that goes with it. It's got a ribbon, I believe, and some other stuff. Anyways, so I'm going to use the cabin here with my watercolor pencils. So again, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to use my Memento. So here's my cabin. So this one is a cling stamp. So we've got the cling stamps and the photopolymer stamps. The photopolymer is the clear ones that we used with the animals. So this is like the distinctive kind of look of stamp. Sorry, I'll clean that later. Okay. So now I've got my house. Now, other than just coloring with your pencils onto the house, this is a really cool thing you can do with your pencils. You can make yourself basically like a watercolor swatch. So say you're traveling or you want to make something for your kids or whatever, you can just take a strip of paper. Again, I've used the shimmery white just so it's a little bit more forgiving. I don't think doing it on the watercolor paper would work well just because it would soak in, but I haven't tried it. So you might just have to put more crayon on it. But so this is, instead of using my pencils, say I didn't have my pencils with me and I'm on the road and I just wanted something, I've got my colors here, I've got my image, and then you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to pick up the color with your brush and then you're just going to put it on your image. So just a different way. See, you definitely don't get lines this way. Oops, squeeze that a little hard there. But yeah, you can just, you've got basically a paint palette with your crayons. So basically all I did there was I took my crayon and you just make your square and then color it in. And obviously you want to put a fair amount of crayon, pencil, whatever you want to call it, onto here to make your palette, but so you can see. And that's all I did for each of them to make my square. And then you go through and color in your cabin. It's really handy to take along some colors, and then all you need is your little water painter, and off you go. So fun, right? Okay, so that's the start of my cabin. So obviously you would do the whole cabin, and then the finished project is this one. So again, you can see I've colored in the house, and like I showed you with the dies, you can cut out the house and it gives you a strip, and you can cut out the trees, and then I colored in the background with pencils and then watercolored it. And I don't know if you can see this early espresso has like a wood texture to it. That is a new embossing folder, and it is called the Timber 3D embossing folder. And again, that's out of the new mini catalog that's going to come out in August. So yeah, fun stuff, right? So again, you've got a Christmas suite that's, you can do Christmas cards, but if you're not ready for Christmas, make it a nice summer retreat. So that's one thing I have found, a lot of these sets that are, even though they're meant for Christmas or winter or whatever, they're really versatile and you can turn them into whatever for any season, which is nice. So again, using the shimmery white cardstock. My next one is this Arctic bears. My kids love polar bears, and they told me I had to have this one, and I liked it too. Isn't this guy cute? So again, it is a cling stamp with the rubber. It has dies that goes with it as well. So it cuts So, oops, I'm missing the big bear. So obviously it has the 2 bears out of the stamp set, and it has an extra little bear. It's got what looks, I think this is like an iceberg or something, and then you've got like the icicles. So yeah, it's got some cool pieces. I haven't played with it too much other than to cut out my polar bear. So I just stamped him and die cut him with the Big Shot, or it's not a Big Shot, sorry, my Big Boss. And then, so again, I'm cheating and I'm using Memento. Now, just so you know, it is much easier to clean the rubber clean stamps than it is the photopolymer with the from the StazOn, just because you're not seeing it. So even if it stains it, I find, maybe it's just me and OCD, I don't know, but it's nice to be able to not, if the photopolymer gets too black and stained, it's harder to see if you're trying to layer things. So anyway, so I've got some ground, and I'm using my polar bear kind of as a I can't even think of the word, as a way to know where to stamp the rest of my pieces. So this is kind of cool because it's got all these icebergs and they kind of fit nicely around the polar bear. This one I just cased out of the catalog, really. They have artists that work so hard and create these sets, but they also do all the artwork, and so it's nice to be able to just take their art and go with it. Okay, so I've got my icebergs and my polar bear. I won't need him right now. And then this next technique with the watercolor crayons is kind of cool. I'm not really using it in the sense that you probably would want to use it because it's great for speckling and stuff, but I just wanted to show it to you, and I didn't have time to, well, I was playing with the polar bears, and so I just wanted to do it with this. What did I use? Pacific Point, no. Maybe Bermuda Bay. Okay, so I've got my Bermuda Bay, and I'm just gonna wet my paper, not too much since it's not watercolor paper, but enough. And then I'm gonna take, I didn't have my sanding block, so I've got a foot sander, and I'm just gonna rub my pencil crayon onto the sander. I don't know if you can, I should have different spots for different colors, because now I think I'm mixing my colors. I'm gonna have some pink in here. So you can see it's starting to bleed from the wet, and then you can just come back and spread it. But you can see if you wanted like a speckled look, speckled background, this is a really good way to get it. So you can see I used the Memento, and it does bleed a little bit when you put enough water on, but it's good enough. So there's one example. I'm just gonna, well, maybe I'll use, I'm not very talented at my other hands. So I'll take a Flirty Flamingo here. Put some there. Oh, I forgot to wet my paper. And then some Calypso Coral, maybe. And you kind of want to turn your pencil as you go, otherwise you'll get a really odd shaped pencil when you're done. So just watch for that. So there, it's starting to bleed again. wasn't quite expecting that much color, but it's okay. It's a bright, bright sky. Okay, ooh, and then I've got lots of powder left. I'm just gonna flick it to get the powder off so we're clear. And then we'll take the color off our brush. And then my last technique that I wanted to show you is you can take, and I kind of did this with our the soft pastels. So you can just take your brush and you can actually just pick up the color from the pencil. And that would be nice if I had a pencil sharpener. And then I'm just gonna go in and color this iceberg. So you can pick up as much or as little. And if you're not sure how much color you've picked up, always again have your spare paper and just kind of test it out and make sure you've got kind of the amount that you're looking for. So that's the other way. So you can use it, you can make a paint palette with your paper. You can pull it off the pencil. You can get a speckled look with some kind of sanding paper or sander or foot scrubber, whatever you want to do. Oops. Obviously you want to have clean fingers when you're working or you make a mess. So that's actually kind of cool with the speckles into it, but obviously I didn't want pink speckles in my water. So just note that you can, you could just run this under water or wipe it with a baby wipe, whatever. So just maybe use a clean part so you don't get the leftovers from other colors. So the final project for that is this one. So again, I use that same paper from the little sweet stockings. And then this is all just from the polar bear, the Arctic bear set. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. The watercolor crayons are a great, they're a cost-effective way to get lots of colors and be able to color in your stamps and to do lots of different techniques with them. You do require to have some kind of paintbrush, water paint. These are great because they carry the water in them. You can also use them with the blending brush, and I'm just trying to see if I have, okay, here, I'll show you. So we have these blender pens, I guess, not blender brush. They're just clear ends. They do get stained over time, but again, like the water painter, as long as it's running clear, you're fine. And again, let's just take a piece of paper. It's not as washed of a look that you'll get. So you can, so you want a couple of colors. You can take your blender pen, and it's very similar to the watercolor painters, and you just kind of, it becomes like a marker blends. So it does pick up the color, as you can see, and then you just wipe it off to change colors. So yeah, that's another way that you can use them other than with water. So if you are using just standard basic white paper, these blender pens are probably the better way to go, just because you can control the amount of moisture that goes on. It does, though, if you rub too much and you're really trying to blend, the basic white will tear over time because it'll just get wet, and so just be aware of that. So just depending which paper. So again, you can use the watercolor paper or shimmery white with your water painters, and then you can use the blender pen with basic white or shimmery white. You wouldn't use this on watercolor paper. So yeah, those are your fun ways of using our watercolor pencils. And I'm not sure what I'm doing next week, but there will be a live next week, so hopefully you'll join me again. And I'm just, oh, and I forgot, I don't have, do I have it with me? We do have a sale going on right now on the Designer Series paper out of the annual catalog. It is 15% off until August 2nd. It's only these papers. A good one to note is this In Good Taste. It's a big pack and it's very neutral and has lots of great papers, and it's one of the only expensive papers that's on sale. All the other ones are the $15.75 papers, but they're fun papers too. So if any of these are on your list and you wanted them, now's a good time to stock up. They're 15% off. I will have to, when I post my photographs of my projects, I will add a host code because I have not got that going yet for July. And if you order using the host code over $60, you will get my August kit class sent to you. So yeah, have a good week and we will hopefully see you next week. Bye.